Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well and you are safe at home and you're healthy. I have asked Christina and Lisa if I could introduce you guys to something that I have found, and I started doing it last week. But I thought it could help you out like it was helping me out. If you're not interested, press delete, move on. If you are, I'm going to attach a couple of files of stuff that could help you access more of the information. So to give you some background, I discovered Rachel Hollis. She's an author about 2 years ago. I had tried to get into some of the self-help space, books, audio, podcasts, whatever, and never with much success until I found Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face. And from there I read Girls Stop Apologizing. But I found her at a time where I was needing something more. And this is the parts that gets really hard for me because I don't like to be vulnerable. But I was going through a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of stuff happening at home that Chris was going through, and then Christopher was going through. And when we got to the other side of it, both of them had found what they needed. They were thriving, but my anxiety was still amped up big time. But anyway, so that's when I found Rachel Hollis and her stuff. And I had the opportunity this summer to go to her Rise conference, which was amazing. She does podcasts, she does videos, she's on Facebook Live every morning. And in this new space that we're all in, she's quarantined with her family down in Texas. Well, her and her company have rolled out something called the Next 90 Days. And it is a program, it's completely free, but it's built around finding ways to create routine and create some normalcy while this world is not very normal right now. With the 90 days, it's called the Next 90 Days, she has something called the 5 to Thrive, and this is what I'll attach. It's 5 things that you can do every day to help you create a better routine. And they are, the first one is move your body for 30 minutes. It doesn't matter what that looks like. Some of us have to clock in and clock out 4 times a day, and one of those clock in, clock outs is 30 minutes. It's a great time to go for a walk, go outside with the kids, whatever. Number 2 is drink your water. The water is obviously very good for you anyway, but it will help during this time that we're trying to keep our immune systems up. The third is give up a category of food that you know you shouldn't be eating anyway. Mine is Easter candy. And what I'm gonna do is, because it's 90 days, 3 months, my first one is I'm gonna make it through April without eating a piece of Easter candy. And then the next month I'll work on tortilla chips. But I can't do them both at one time. So what was that? I told you about move the body. I told you about drink your water. I told you about the food category. She says get up an hour earlier so that you have an hour for yourself. I'm saying find an hour in the day that you can do something for yourself. That's not lesson planning, that's not answering phone calls, that's not helping the kids. It's just for you. I'm not getting up any earlier than 5 o'clock, so I find my hour when my husband comes home. And then number 5, I actually do first thing in the morning, and that is a gratitude practice. So you start a journal or just grab a piece of paper, but it is important that you write it down. Friends of mine we are actually doing a gratitude waterfall in the morning. So whoever's up first sends the text message that says, hey, here's my 5 things that I'm grateful for. The key here is they're not big things. So, hold on. Mine this morning was, I'm grateful that the coffee was made when I got up. And I didn't have to do it. I'm grateful for my kids being able to entertain themselves. I'm grateful for Indian food, which wasn't tortilla chips. I'm grateful for my favorite pair of black sweatpants that were clean yesterday that I wore all day. And I'm grateful for a book that someone dropped off on my front porch for me. So they are little things. They're not huge things. Like, they're just little subtle moments that happen throughout the day that the next morning you can write down or add to your practice. But what happens is you start looking for them as the day goes on, like, what am I gonna write tomorrow? Or something will happen, you'll be like, oh, I'll write that in my journal tomorrow. If you sign up for the next 90 days, she's doing, well, the 5 to Thrive, they'll remind you about, but also she's putting videos online that speak to a different aspect of trying to create this routine a normalcy. Like last week she spoke about perspective, and that's what really kind of touched my soul. Since this whole being quarantined had happened, I had been feeling extremely guilty because I was kind of grateful for the time. I'm taking 3 grad classes, obviously working at the school with you guys full time, plus I have my 2 kids which had stuff. I was really starting to sink in all of the obligations and responsibilities, and I kept saying, God, if I just had more time, if I just had more time, and all of a sudden I have all sorts of time. And I was feeling very guilty about that, because I felt like my wish was coming at the expense of the health of so many others. And listening to her talk about perspective, I really don't need to feel that way. And she spoke about how we can hold pain and joy in the same moment. So I can feel pain or feel sorry for those that are struggling, but in this moment, it's not touching my life, and I can find the joy of, or the happiness in that I have the time now to catch up on my grad school work. I have the time to get the things done around the house that I needed to get done. She talks a lot about perspective and how you have control over your own perspective and how you get to decide how you see things. And in that note, one of the things that has become important for me with the gratitude practice is I do that before I even get out of my bed. The reason being is Chris is on the other end of the spectrum. And so if my feet hit the floor and I make it to the, sorry, I'm outside and the wind's blowing my hair. I make it to the coffee pot and he hears me, he is right behind me giving me the doom and gloom of what has ever been on the news. So like yesterday morning, I did my gratitude practice. I got up, my puppies greeted me in the kitchen, and I was excited to see them, and he came behind me. Hey, I just heard on the news, Hogan's thinking about using our ice skating rinks in the state too to turn into morgues. It's really not how I want to start my day. So it's setting my intentions and setting my perspective before I run into him that's helping me. This week she spoke about joy, and her lecture on joy was about finding joy even in the hardest moments. And she gave a list of things that you could do to help find joy, and one of them is to create a joy list, to sit down and actually write out all the things that bring you joy. And if you get on there, she also has PDFs. So like she created this whole, I don't know if you can see it, PDF file on joy. And some of the things like I wrote down for myself was music, a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, which means Chris isn't in my ear, walking on the trails with my dogs and my kids, putting my feet in the sand. Some of these things I can do now, some of them I can't. One of them that's on here is the end of a workout. I love the way it feels when a workout is over. I can do that any day and find a little bit of joy in my life. But anyway, like I said, if you are interested and want more information, I've attached a PDF that has the websites on it, and also the 5 to Thrive if you just want to do that. If you guys want me to summarize the videos and send them to you, I can do that as well. But I'm hoping some of you will join me. I'm hoping that it'll help you get through this odd time in our lives. One thing about the website, if you do get on there, once you sign up, so when you get on the Hollis Company website, there's a little button that says next 90 days and you push it and it asks you to sign. You put your email address, your name, and everything in there. When you go back to the site, don't go to that next 90 days. Go to the Hollis U, I think it's called, but it's all the way to the left. And that will take you back to where you were. So I kept going back to the 90 days and it kept wanting me to re-sign up. So it's actually all the way to the left if you decide to do it. But anyway, I hope this helps some of you, and I hope some of you will join me. Have a good day.